Hello everyone, my name is Will Hubert, and for my portfolio piece, I decided to continue writing my fiction piece about the underwater city of Rapture. The reason that I decided to continue adding on and revising this piece is because it was very entertaining to write, and honestly, I really enjoyed writing it. I spent a lot of time into it, and I'm not one who usually likes writing, but I really enjoyed writing this piece. If I were to put my piece under any particular genre, it would have to be fiction, because my story is a piece that has all imaginary events and people along with being a short story. Janet Burroway, for those who don't know who she is the author of Imaginative Writing, The Elements of Craft, and she is considered an expert in writing elements and how to correctly introduce and write about each genre of music. Her book is in its 3rd edition and is regarded as a guideline for many professional writers. And using Burroway as a reference, I looked up her views on fiction and related to how I came up with the fact that my piece belongs in this genre. According to Burroway, a fictional piece of writing should have a good balance of scene and summary. Burroway says summary is a tool that is often used and is necessary, and its main purpose is to fill in a character's background, let us understand a motive, alter pace, create transition, and leap moments of years. Burroway's views of scene, however, are slightly different, mainly the polar opposite. She says that a scene deals at length with a relatively short time. In my piece, I have a relatively good balance of summary and scene, where I give the reader good information at the beginning of the story about the main character and the felon of the character, along with the setting that will take place. I don't give a lot of concrete detail, except more of who the characters are. I don't go in depth of the situation. It is until I really transition the story into a particular scene where it kind of turns more into basically what I said. The scene kind of goes into depth of what is going on and pays a lot more attention to detail. Another element of writing that I use in my piece is imagery. I wanted to make a lot of sense of imagery of what was going on so that the reader had a good feeling about what I was trying to get at, and I wanted the reader to feel like they were there. And an excerpt from my piece is, I opened up my eyes to a piercing bright light and a searing pain coming from the back of my head. My ears are vibrating as I begin to regain conscience. My body is shaking uncontrollably. I find myself bound to a chair. My wrists are bound to the armrest of a chair by a rope, and my ankles are wrapped to the leg posts. I am drenched. If I question it, I'm just sweating at first, but realize that my clothes are wet. My jeans are dark blue from all the water, and my shirt is torn and drenched. I try to figure out where I may be. I look to my left and see a bucket knocked over. It looked as if it had recently been filled with water and splashed on me. It is freezing in this room, however. I can see my breath and everything. Goosebumps are erecting from my skin. My eyesight is coming back, but my equilibrium is off. I look forward to see a gigantic window and 2 men in another room staring at me and talking to one another. One is a brute, at least 6'4" and weighs around 240 pounds. The other is scrawny, but by the way he's acting makes him look like he's in charge. Both are wearing the same outfit, blue overalls and a white undershirt. I wouldn't say that they are all dressed, but they definitely look cleaner how they are presented. I can't make out their faces though. The room they are in is dark, so it is hard to make out their upper torso. Burroway taught me that imagery really sticks with the reader, and it is what captures their attention, gets what they want. They want to continue reading because of imagery. Now, you want to have color to your book or story. The revision process of my piece took a lot of careful thought, and I took a lot of suggestions that my peers made into consideration on Google Drive. The first consideration that I took was working on transition between the beginning of my story to when the plot really thickens and a lot of complications occur. In order for this to work, I had to add a lot more detail, and I did make, for my transition, I added a little bit more to the summary, kind of how he went from being in New York to the city of Rapture. I sort of talked about his adventure there. I wanted to fill in the loopholes that I saw. I think Dakota was the one that talked about loopholes. And another main revision that I made was paying attention to detail during the main scene of my story. I had to add details that made it more clear. I saw a lot of peers were saying that it wasn't clear to them the details that I made, so I had to take out some details. But as well as taking out some details, I had to add some more because I wanted to create a general flow. I will say one thing that Janet Burroway has taught me along with this course is that I thought I was good at writing for this class, and then I realized I don't know anything. So it was kind of a good, to see the different elements and get a good idea of how good writing is, and especially for a class that I didn't really have to take, I feel I got a lot out of it.